G'day, I'm Lorne from DARCHE, and today we're going to introduce you to our Double D Hybrid rooftop tent. This is an ABS shell, hard shell tent, a side fold style, so you've got plenty of space inside. Everything that you need to fit this to your vehicle is included with the kit. However, you can also refer to your local four-wheel drive fitter if you need a bit of a hand with that stage. And with that, let's just jump into the setup. All right, so before you set up your tent, you want to make sure you've selected a nice level spot, as level as you can find to set it up on. If your vehicle's on a severe angle, you're not going to have a very comfortable night's sleep. So I found a nice level spot here. The next thing to do is just to walk around the tent and just release the 4 latches that hold the case closed. So you've got one here on this side, pull that open. One around here, pull that one open as well. And then you've also got 2 more around the back. And then the next step is just going to be to just push the top of the case open. So you just grab onto it and give it a bit of a shove. That'll open right up with the gas struts. Pull your little elastic cord down out of the way, and that just slots into the bottom of the baseboard there, just to keep it tidy. And then here, I don't need this pull down strap at the moment. I'm just going to chuck that over the top of the case. And you're going to grab your ladder here. You'll have to release this little Velcro strap around the ladder, and then just pull the bottom of the ladder out, just so you can reach it from the ground. Once you climb back down, I would extend that all the way out until it's all locked in, and then we use that to lever the tent open and pull out this section of the baseboard. I'm just going to pull that down. Now you're going to need to adjust the height of the ladder. So what we want to do here is always adjust as high as you can from the top rung. So 2 little triggers underneath the step there, just push those in and that'll drop. We'll push these ones in here just to take up that last little bit of slack at the top. Make sure it's all properly locked in before you climb up. And then here, we're just going to flip the fly up out of our way. And there's a little canopy frame in here with a little lock on each side. So you release those locks, pull the frame up, relock them. And then the rest of it we're going to do from inside the tent. So I'm just jump in. And here we've got 6 little window stay poles. So 2 of these go at the front for this canopy over the ladder. They just slot in there into the bottom of the baseboard and into the little pouch to accept the end of the hook inside the fly. You're going to do the same thing on each side of the tent at the windows. Exactly the same as at the front. You've got 2 poles on each side and just a little eyelet in the canvas there to hook it through. So now we've got the tent set up, we're just going to jump inside and run you through some of the internal features. Right, so you can see inside the tent here, right behind me, we've got this nice case lining. It's a nice soft, comfortable material. It also provides a bit of insulation. And then round at the very back of the tent here, we've got a nice little zippered vent, which you can close up. So there's a little canvas flap there to seal that up if you need to, but that provides excellent ventilation. You'll get nice airflow right through the tent with that one open. You've also got a nice memory foam mattress there. Underneath that, you've got an anti-condensation mat as well. Over in this corner, we've got the controls for the built-in LED strip. So I've just got that plugged into a little phone power pack there, which is not included, but you can power that off whatever you want. It's just a USB-A 5-volt connection. Here is the control for that, just a button there. So you've got a few different brightness settings on the light strip there. There you go. You've got a couple of little storage pockets up the back of the tent here for your phone, wallet, keys, all of that. And then on the side of this one, we have got, as you saw before during the setup, some nice window canopies covering over the windows there. The beauty of those is if you do get caught out in rainy weather, you're actually able to leave this window at least partly open. You may not have it fully open in the rain. You zip it up to say here, and you've still got plenty of nice ventilation coming through the tent, which will assist greatly with condensation. You've also got in the top of the tent here a nice little mesh window, which is of course sealable. You've got a roll of canvas there that zips up to seal that up, and a clear PVC window in the fly to allow a skylight, stargazing at night, all those nice things. So these are the key internal features of the tent. Now we're going to show you how to set up the optional annex. So the first thing you're going to want to do is just find your zip here, which attaches to the tent's canopy. I'm just going to slot the zips together here, just like that. Making sure that you keep hold of the annex side so that weight doesn't pull the zip open while you're zipping it on. Because the ladder actually sits through the little skirt that goes onto the tent here, I'm going to take the ladder off just to get out of the way for the moment. So just pull the pins out, shift the ladder to the side out of the way. And then we're going to take our little track section here. Get your little hook and loop strips on that. Those should be pointing back towards the vehicle. So you can slot that in from either end, but that is basically just going into this little bit of sail track channel here. Slot that in there at the front. And you can see you've got these little cutouts here for your ladder hooks to go through. So you just want to line those up with your ladder pins when you put it back on. And now then, I'm going to find the zip on this end and just slot that together, just like that. Zip this one closed, and we can grab our little hook and loop panels while we're here and just hook those on at the back. Get those roughly in place. Now the next step is going to be to start putting some tension on it so we can get an idea of where that's going to sit. I'm going to grab a couple of pegs. In the corner, you're going to find some big straps for the peg to go through. As we get further along and we start tensioning different parts of the annex, we may find that we need to shift those points. Do the same thing around the other side. Same thing for your front corners. You find those same straps hanging off there. So I'm going to pull a reasonable amount of tension against that back point there when we do this one. On that one a little bit looser, just give me room to come around here and just move this one across. That's actually going to sit about there. All right, same at the back. I'm just going to adjust that back across to this side a little bit. All right, so you've got all four corners roughly pegged in place. The next thing we're going to need is some poles and guy ropes. You're going to find towards the front corners, you've got a couple of little eyelets just for the spigots on these poles to poke through. You might want to just lean this on a bit of an angle like that as you're setting it up, just because we don't have a guy rope on it to tension it yet. Same thing on the other side, just find that little eyelet, poke the spigot through, angle it back for the moment. All right, so now we're starting to look like we've got a usable space in here. Next step is going to be to grab these two little orange rubber caps, and those just go right down, support the pole as you push down. They go right down on top of the spigot there. We've got two guy ropes here. Each of those, you're just going to tie a quick little loop in the open end, throw that over the top of that little rubber stop there, and then that's where you're going to tension your poles. So just slide your little plastic tensioner up the rope until you get to the right length. We'll just peg it down just enough to hold it into place. Don't need to whack it right into the ground. Same thing on the other side. So now that we're happy everything's in position, we're just going to grab our poles inside here and just straighten them up. You may obviously need to reduce the length of them a little bit with the trigger locks just to facilitate that, but that one's all right as it is. Just going to quickly roll up this front door. We'll just pin that up out of the way. And here you want to zip up the mesh before you put in the final pegs. That will just make sure that you're not over tensioning the front. If you pull it too tight with the door open, you're not going to be able to close the door. Grab just this outside loop. I'll whack a bit of tension on that too. It's all looking reasonably good. I can see here now that I've tensioned that front section, we've got a bit of slack here. So we're going to move that one again, just out to the side. But from there, I'm pretty happy with that. That's looking pretty good. Retension the guy rope as well. And we can whack those pegs all the way in now as well. And there, we're looking good. All right, so with that all set up, now we're going to show you how to put it away again. So here, we're just going to release a bit of tension on the guy rope, like that. Pop that off the top. Make sure you pull your pegs out as you go so you don't lose them. Hang on to these little stoppers. Jump inside and pull the poles out. We're in here, we might as well unzip at the back there and just unhook the ladder so we can get the skirt off. Just like that. Slide that skirt out. Velcro off as well. Finish pulling out the rest of the pegs. All right, so now, before we unzip the tent off the annex, we're just going to clip the ladder back in here. That's important. You're going to need that to support the baseboard if you're climbing into the tent. All right, back in place. And we'll unzip the annex off the tent's canopy. From there, we're going to lift up the ladder. Just extend it up like that. And there's your annex off. Now there's plenty of room to just shove that into this bag. No need to be too neat about it.
poles, and the zip skirt, and then you've got all your pegs and guy wraps and bits here.
And there you go. From there, the first step is going to be to remove all these window stays around the tent, so I'll jump straight into that. It is possible to do this from the outside, but it is a bit easier to do it from inside the tent. For the side windows, these are certainly much easier to reach from up here inside the tent than trying to do it from the ground. Just pop all those out and zip the fly screen back up. Same thing on the other side. So with all those window stays out of the way, we can start actually folding up the tent. First thing you need to do is just release the little lock on either side of the canopy frame inside at the front, so you can drop that down, and we'll tension those back up again just so that it doesn't slide back out as we fold the tent away. From there I'm just sort of making sure my loose material is going to sit roughly where I want it, and we use the ladder as a lever to push the baseboard up and fold it back inside the case, just like that. Then the locks at the very bottom of the ladder, push those ones in, compress the ladder all the way. And now we're just going to hop up, pull out our little elastic around the bottom of the baseboard, just to help pull all the sides in, help to keep the canvas clear of the hinges. You've got your little pull down strap for the top of the case there. We'll just grab that, and as you start pulling it down, once you get to the point where you can reach the top of the case, just grab onto it there, fold the strap inside. And as we pack it away, we just want to make sure we grab any of this material that's going to bunch up inside the hinges and just push that into the tent just to get it out of the way. We'll just check around the back as well. Make sure there's nothing hanging out there. Tuck it in as you go. We'll close the latches on the sides. There's one case latch there. There's one around at the front. Pull that down and close it up. And then two more around the back. One here, a bit jammed inside the shell. That's all right. We'll just work that out. Latch it on. Same over this side as well. Just like that. So there you go, all sealed up. You're ready to hit the road again. Thanks for watching this video on the Double D Hybrid Rooftop Tent, and we'll see you next time.